I've documented every single part of my journey in business, all the way from zero to $100,000 a month with just 11,000 followers, completely organic. And today I'm going to be ranking all the formats from worst to best that I've tested that has allowed me to scale to $100,000 a month with just 11K followers. And the reason why I'm making this video is because not everybody understands the importance of a format. It is the packaging of your idea, and it's what determines how much reach you get on your videos. And the biggest mistake that most people make when posting content is that if they are posting just one type of content, let's say talking head, they will only get one result because they're only testing one variable. I'm going to save you the time and effort from looking and researching other formats. I'm going to go through what every single format is, why they work, and how I use them. And I'm going to be ranking them based on how much reach they get, how much authority they build around you, and how long it takes to actually produce that format. All right, let's get straight into it. So the very first format we're going to go through, and you guys have probably seen this format over and over again, but it works really well, are the split screen value videos. This is a format where the screen is split. You are on top reading off a script, reading off a Miro board, or coaching a student, and below is a visual representation of what you are talking about. And the reason why it works so well is because it's a great way to show value. It's not that difficult to create because you're just clipping up your coaching calls, or you're just recording yourself reading off a script, and the editor will take care of the animations for you. So the intention behind this format is to provide value whilst positioning us as an authority, because if you think back to school, we're taught on whiteboards, presentations, and whatnot, and this format is emulating that as it positions us as a teacher reading off a presentation. However, the one thing I would say is that this format is oversaturated. You can scroll on your For You page right now and you can find the exact same format being posted over and over again. And if you don't have competent editors, it may take a while to put together the animations. That is why I ranked it as a 4 out of 5 for reach, a 4 out of 5 for selling and authority, and a 4 out of 5 for pre-production. Overall rating, 4 out of 5. I'd recommend that you guys implement this for your personal brand, especially if you're trying to provide value. The next format is lifestyle videos. And I genuinely believe that this is the worst format that you should be posting if you're trying to monetize your audience. These videos are super easy to put together. You just slap your B-rolls behind an audio and just post it. But there is absolutely no intention behind any of these videos other than just aura farming and looking cool. And it attracts everybody. So it doesn't necessarily do a great job attracting ICP leads that you can end up selling. And also it plays absolutely no role in educating and nurturing your audience. That is why I rated the reach a 5 out of 5, because I ripped this format and my most viral videos have come from this format. However, I just haven't made any money from this format. If I could, I would have rated it a 0 out of 5 for selling power and authority, but I've rated it a 1 out of 5, and pre-production 4 out of 5. And the reason why I didn't rate it a 5 is because you need really aesthetic B-rolls. If you have a camera or a really nice iPhone, you can make this content really easily. Anything else, you just struggle. The next format that I'm gonna go through, and I genuinely believe that if you are a coach, business owner, or agency owner and you don't have this format on your page, you are missing out on so much fucking money. This format is a direct contributor to my $100,000 month, and it is case study breakdowns. This is just a breakdown of the results that you've gotten for your clients. And why it works is because it builds really good authority. You build associations to your clients, which attract their competitors and everybody else in their niche, and your clients become walking billboards. Because of this, you tap into their audience, which means you get good reach, and builds an insane amount of credibility and trust, especially if you do the video in person. Plus, it is very easy to script. I have a plug and play framework, and it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to script this entire video out. My Instagram is in the description below. All you have to do is DM me the word format and I'll send it right to you. And the intention behind this format is it does a great job of building authority and credibility while building the associations to your clients. However, it does take a while to produce, especially if you're going to film your clients in person. You could do it as a split screen / green screen video, but it is not as effective. That's why I've rated the reach a 5 out of 5, the selling power and authority a 5 out of 5, and the pre-production a 3 out of 5. This format is a non-negotiable. I recommend that everybody should have this on their personal brand, especially as a pinned post. The next format that I want to cover are voiceovers, and I really recommend that everybody trying to do content at scale should use this format. The reason why is because it is super easy to put together. You just need to clip up your coaching calls, your one-on-ones, your team calls, or you can script a video out and record it without even having to set the camera up. All you're doing is just overlaying B-roll on top of the audio. Not only that, but this format is amazing for reach. As you can see, every single time I posted this format, they've been performing well above average on my account. And the beauty of this format is you can have multiple different intentions behind it. You can educate people, you can nurture people. It just depends on what you talk about in the clip. However, the downside behind this is that your page starts to feel like a clipping page since it's just B-roll over audio, so there's a lack of connection and there's a lack of intentional filming. And it would only be super efficient for those who have a shit ton of B-roll. So if you don't have a shit ton of B-roll, you have to make the effort to record all of that. However, if you don't have a good understanding of the foundations of content, which means if you don't understand scripting frameworks, if you can't speak with conviction, then there may be a lack of intention and poor execution behind the format, which is why I rate this format a 4 out of 5 for reach, a 3 out of 5 for selling power and authority because it really depends on the clip, and pre-production is a 4 out of 5. I really recommend this for brands that are already well established and wanting to post content at scale because it saves you so much time from setting up the camera, going to a studio, or creating your own studio and recording. The next format, and I'm not going to cover it for too long because everybody uses this format, but it's a standard talking head with B-rolls and graphics. You can be super intentional with this because everything is done from the scripting. It has been the go-to format for everybody since content creation was a thing. This format can be used to educate, nurture, and resonate. It just depends on what you script out. However, the format is very oversaturated. Everybody is doing it. It's super hard to stand out when you do this format, and it also takes a while to learn the skill set of scripting. It takes a while to record nice shots of yourself, and it takes time and money to travel to a nice location to set the camera up to record yourself. Not only that, you have to block out time out of your calendar to execute this format, which is why I rated this format a 4 out of 5 for reach, a 2 out of 5 for selling power and authority, and a 3 out of 5 for production because it's one of the easiest ways to get into content, but it's also super difficult to stand out because you have to spend time traveling or you have to rely on a competent editor as well. I love this format. It is so fucking fun to make and it's so easy to put together. And this is day in the lives. And all it is just recording yourself on the back of your iPhone camera, 0.5 4K 24 FPS, and you just record 5-second snippets of your day and put it together with a voice recording at the end. The reason why this format works is because it is a great way to authentically showcase your life as a X-figure business owner. You can showcase things in your day-to-day that you want to build associations to. You can showcase your fulfillment, show client wins, show how much you make in a day, especially if you are a B2C coach. You can show your ICP that you are living the desired outcome, making X amount a day, living this lifestyle, having these associations. And this format works very well. It is timeless and works across every single industry. The main intention behind this format is to build a connection with your audience, leverage your wins, whether they're personal or business wins, build authority, and be extremely authentic. However, the downside is recording every aspect of your day. If you're not used to recording, then you can sometimes forget to record stuff throughout your day. Not only that, there's also a limiting belief around, oh, my day isn't exciting enough to document. And you can't fully give value. You just build associations and authority around your brand. So that's why I rated it a 4 out of 5 for reach, a 3 out of 5 for selling power and authority, and a 3 out of 5 for pre-production. As of recently, I've been testing this format, and this format has brought me so many ICP leads. And what it is just two personas versus each other, where you give insight on how each one operates and you compare the two. And the reason why it works is because it is such a creative way to showcase value, and it stands out from all the boring talking heads and split screen videos on your For You page. So it acts like a pattern interrupt. And the intention behind this is to call out your ICP's current situation, make them problem aware, and make them solution aware. However, the downside is it does require a bit of skill with the camera and a bit of skill with the editing. So sometimes there's high production involved. That's why I ranked it a 4 out of 5 for reach, 4 out of 5 for selling and building authority, and a 2 out of 5 for pre-production. I think that this is the most underrated format and is one of the best ones to scale up your business and position you as an authority. This format are basically highlight clips of your presentations, your masterminds, your one-on-ones, and your team calls, right? And the reason why it works is because it positions you as an authority and industry leader if you are presenting in front of people, or if you are showcasing that you are coaching someone. The fact that you are coaching someone and there's multiple people listening to you automatically increases your perception of value and positions you as a leader. And the intention behind this is to build an insane amount of authority in possibly the most authentic way. And another reason why this works so well is because it allows you to start treating content like a lifestyle rather than blocking time out of your day and intentionally planning everything. And because of that, since you are documenting things that you're good at, it allows you to enter flow state, your ideas are better, and the way you articulate yourself is a lot more smoother. The only downside is you can't be as intentional with what you're saying because you need to learn the fundamentals of content, meaning that if you don't understand how to script, you don't know how to articulate the value you're going to give, which makes it a lot more difficult for your editors to clip up your content. So that is why I would rate the reach for this format a 4 out of 5, the selling power a 4 out of 5, and the pre-production a 4 out of 5 as well. It is one of the best ways to build an insane amount of authority, especially nowadays as well. This format has absolutely ripped and it gets an insane amount of views. And these are breakdowns. This is where you're breaking down someone's content, funnel, ads, or their business as a whole. And the reason why it works is because you're leveraging proven videos, ads, and creators, which means reach shouldn't really be a problem because these videos and creators have already blown up. So all you're doing is just borrowing the virality to teach and educate your audience on why those things were successful. The main intention behind this is to educate and showcase your value to get reach. But I would say there's not many downsides to this. It just takes time to research and it may be difficult to put together, which is why I rated everything a 4 out of 5. I 100% recommend that you do this, especially if you are a creator or a business owner just starting out that's lacking reach. And finally, this is a format that I've seen trending, and this is just ranking videos. It's just as simple as ranking formats, stuff that's happening in your industry. The reason why it works is because it makes your audience problem aware, situation aware, and solution aware. And the intention behind it is to educate whilst also getting reach, because this is a very entertaining way to display value, right? There's not many downsides. It just takes research and it may be difficult to put together. And that's why I've also rated everything a 4 out of 5. So that is every single format that I've tested to scale my personal brand. And if there's one thing that I want you to take away from this video is that you should not stick to testing just one format. You are only getting one result because you're only testing one variable. So if there's one thing that I want you to do is I want you to take 5 formats from this video, test them, continue iterating, find a thing that works and double down. And that's how you build a winning formula. So I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you have a good one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Take care, guys. Peace.